You are listening to the MSPoweruser Podcast, the podcast for the Microsoft enthusiast and power user. We discuss the latest news from MSPoweruser.com about Windows, Microsoft, and all that other fun stuff you and I love. My name is Vernon E. Smith, and I'm joined as usual by Andy Bennett. Andy, what's up, man?
Well, I bought a Surface RT on eBay, which I mentioned to you multiple times, but of course the listeners don't know that.
I love the Surface RT. I really do. That was a fun little device. It was so forward-thinking at the time, and I remember when the first video, like the reveal video, came out. I even sent that to like my family members, and they loved it. Even my daughter, which, boy, she must have been like 10 at the time. That was a while ago, maybe 12. I don't know. And
it's been 4 years.
Yeah, she was probably 12, and she's like, "Dad, you're gonna get one, right?" And well, eventually I did, and I really did like that thing.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. You really will enjoy it, Andy.
All right. How's your week been? I mean, I know that it's busy, but again, listeners don't.
This week has been busy, and today especially, today's Thursday, has been pretty busy, and I'm not going to go into personal detail stuff here, but a lot of things happened today, one of them including we sold our house, and so that's a good thing. But if you want to hear more about that stuff, just follow me on Twitter. I don't want to use up that type of time when people would rather hear about the news. So, Andy, what's up with the news? What's going on this week?
We have new builds, new features, and delays.
So before we, I asked you to go jump to the news, and then I'm cutting you off because we're not going to talk about the news first. We're going to talk about some stuff for the site-related things. You're going to want to continue to follow the site, obviously. If you're listening to the show, you'll probably follow MSPoweruser.com, which you should. Lots of great articles there, the latest inside scoops and all, you get the idea. MSPoweruser.com. We're going to be going to Ignite, and we're going to be covering what's going on there, and of course, follow us on Twitter and keep up on the site. Oddly enough, I'm the one going to Ignite, so apparently everyone else was busy, or it was too far for them to fly, and I got the call from the bullpen to come on in and go cover this place, cover the Ignite. So some of you may not know what Ignite is, and I had a little bit of an idea, but to be honest, this will be a really big learning experience for me. But Microsoft describes Ignite as, well, this is how they kind of announce it. The best and brightest minds will be all in one place to talk cloud infrastructure and management, productivity, big data, and the Internet of Things, unified communications, mobility, and more. So welcome thinkers, and get ready for a glimpse at what's possible today and in the future. So this is a conference. It's public, but it is definitely a Microsoft conference. There's tons of Microsoft employees there. It is the last full week in September, so in a couple weeks from now.
Man,
And
that is fast.
yeah, it's coming up. It's very soon, week and a half here actually, depending on. Wow, yeah, a little over a week. So it's Sunday, or I should say officially it's Monday through Friday. It's a full long week. MS Power User, we're not going to be there for the whole week, but we're going to be there for the important stuff. And we've been told that there is some important stuff. We can't really say what the important stuff is, obviously, yet, but we're going to be covering that, and I'm excited for it. Traditionally, Ignite is an enterprise conference, just as I kind of alluded to in how Microsoft described it. But it is also something that they are ramping up a little bit more. Last year, they said that Ignite is going to be, they're shifting it to be one of their premier events, kind of like Build. So Build is obviously a big developer conference, we know that, but we know that there's so much that is released at Build as well, announcements and stuff like that. And so we're going to have, there's going to be something at Ignite. I'm not expecting hardware, but we don't want to rule that out. I'm definitely expecting some cloud and enterprise products, services, features, like that type of stuff, which, to be honest, I don't understand that stuff real well. But I think most Microsoft fans don't necessarily understand that either, at least on the consumer side. I'm excited to be on, to be covering it as best I can, and to try to distill it down and give you guys the highlights of this. And we need your help, because I don't know the best way for you guys to receive that. I want to know what you guys want to hear. I want to know how you want to hear it. If you want to just, if we did like, maybe more frequent podcast episodes, real short ones, or if did a quick little video or something like that, or what. Obviously, we'll be passing on the press releases, and the people back home from MSPoweruser.com are going to be distilling posting blogs about it. Posting blogs. Sharing that information in a normal fashion, better than I'm trying to translate it with words. And you'll be able to read through all of it that way, but also I want to cover it as a set of boots on the ground and share it with you guys. So let me know. Let me know on Twitter, or talk to Andy too. Andy's probably a little more fun on Twitter than I am. Andy, you're always on Twitter, man.
Yeah. But, you're going to have to hold up a sign or something when you're there. Because I'm going to be watching the live stream, and I'm going to need to see something.
I'll be the guy way in the back trying to peek over somebody taller than me.
You're going to have to smuggle in fireworks then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe a Note 7 or 2.
Yeah, right? I don't think they probably check for those at the door.
Yeah.
So. Nope, it'll be a fun time. So something off of my tech shelf just fell. Weird.
Oh dear.
Well, it's going to be a fun time. I'm excited for it. I'm a noob at this, but it's going to be a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. All right, Andy, that's your cue, buddy. Let's get on with this. What are we going to start this off with?
So, Windows 10 build 14926 has just released. We had kind of a drought this past week with nothing new happening, and now we've gotten a big new build with big new fixes, which is currently rolling out to the fast ring. If you're in the fast ring, odds are you've gotten this. It's on both PC and mobile, and it includes some really nice stuff, including what's called a snooze feature for Microsoft Edge, which we'll talk about later. But first off, the most important change of it all, they fixed Adobe Reader crashing.
Nice. That's good.
I know there's been people out there who've been thinking, wow, I really use Adobe Reader a lot. And I really, really, really wish that Adobe Reader would continue to work. And I really would love to see Adobe to continue updating Adobe Reader so that it would work on this Windows 10 build. Well, for those of you out there who just love Adobe Reader, it works. And, so, Vernon, what do you think we should go over? Should we go over some more of the fixes or the new features first, or what?
I guess we hadn't thought too much about this, but I think we can maybe just run down, I don't see the features in here. I just see what's fixed.
Oh.
Am I on a different, I pulled up the wrong page here.
Here.
Blog post.
Give me a second.
Well, I'll start through some of the fixes here at least.
Yeah.
Just real quick, they fixed an issue with the settings app crashing when you go to personalization. Windows icon and text were not rendered correctly. They fixed that. That was on some of the Clover processors. Scaling for full screen games when it doesn't match the native aspect ratio.
Hey, I'm just going to stop for a second and say that this is kind of something interesting because, well, I haven't tried it out. I think that what they're talking about here, fixing scaling when a game is in a different aspect ratio in full screen, is that sometimes if you ran a game in a very small resolution in full screen, something I'd often see was that I would see black corners to the right and bottom just jut in and knock it over to the side a little. And it's like, I'm pretty sure this is what they fixed, though I can't confirm.
Okay. Interesting. One huge issue that people really talked quite a bit about is that if you were to plug your Kindle into your PC running fast-ring, that it would basically blue screen your device, which is very odd, but that's been fixed. This build improves performance on websites which changes to large numbers of HTML elements containing text by improving spell checker efficiency. This results in substantially improved performance on websites like TweetDeck. Okay. We have addressed largest cause of reliability issues in Microsoft Edge running on Insider Preview builds. This should improve reliability on major websites such as Facebook and Outlook.com. The rest of these, I don't see anything really sticking out too.
Well, then we can move on to features then, because
yeah.
So as for
features here,
new features, there aren't too many, but these are pretty nice ones. And the biggest one is for Microsoft Edge, and it's the previously mentioned snooze feature. And they say that we know you all love when we get creative with you, so we've added an experimental snooze action on a tab in Microsoft Edge, which provides you with a way to set a Cortana reminder on the website you're viewing. So this is, as far as I can tell, with the way this works, it's similar to how, you can have Cortana remind you when you're at a location, a time, or talking to a person. This takes it a step further and makes it so that if you view a website in Microsoft Edge that you had a snooze reminder for, you will get the reminder, like, for example, if you were to open website A and you wanted to have a reminder on website A that said, whenever I open website A, I want to check my grocery list updater program Pro and upgrade that to the latest version or whatever. And you'd get a notification next time you opened it up. It's this way to set a reminder for something you're supposed to do on a site, and so you can get it. So that's nifty. I can think of a couple personal uses for it, though I know that the thing with me and reminders is that once I set a reminder, I am instantly reminded about it always, because I'm thinking, oh boy, I've got a reminder that's going to go off at XYZ time. So it's like, the act of setting a reminder helps me out more than the reminder, in a way.
Well, that's the same thing with taking notes. If you are writing out notes longhand with a pen, that act of doing it actually helps you remember things better than, just doing that helps you remember it, even if you don't go back to your notes. That's one of the reasons I do take notes at conferences and things like that, which usually my peers don't take nearly as many notes as I do. I don't know. Maybe I just I don't think I have as good a memory as they do, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, the next change is a mobile-only change, which some people will probably be looking forward to.
Yes. So...
Okay, Vernon can handle this. Mobile's his territory.
Well, you're talking about the SMS on Skype?
No. Updated Wi-Fi settings page.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
It's...
let me pull it up then. Let's see.
Yeah, it's in the official blog post, which I'll send you here real quick in a chat.
Okay, well, I'm going to learn this on the fly.
The best way to learn.
So, pulling it up, oh, wow, cool. So, when you pull up to Wi-Fi settings in mobile, this is fast ring, obviously. And I scrambled to get this updated on my device. I didn't have one available. So, there's Wi-Fi and there's Wi-Fi Legacy. Okay, so Wi-Fi Legacy is more like the mobile version that it had been before. So, it was like a larger font, larger sized, and has like Wi-Fi Sense and things like that in there. And then the toggle for Wi-Fi networking. So I'm going to go directly to Wi-Fi itself, and that has everything. It loaded up right away. It was very quick, whereas going up to Wi-Fi Legacy took a while. It had to reach out and look for recognize them. So I don't know why this is different. I mean, I see the changes, it's different. And there's a few other, additional settings here. Use random hardware addresses to make it harder for people to track your location when you connect to different Wi-Fi networks. Well, that's kind of cool. I can do that. Wi-Fi Sense itself, Wi-Fi Sense is still in here. That's the same. Connected suggested open hotspots. That isn't any hotspots. That's no different. And then there's Hotspot 2.0 networks. Let me use online sign up to get connected. I'm not familiar with that. So that's interesting. And I'm sure since it's the first time they've put this page out here and they still have the old version there, I would imagine they're going to work out some bugs and add more features to the new Wi-Fi page. I did not know that until now, and everything I just shared with you, I learned as quickly as I shared it.
Hey. So yeah, that's interesting, and I'm pretty sure, of course, Wi-Fi Legacy is going to be removed as the new Wi-Fi page gains feature parity with the old one, and they have all the kinks ironed out. So yeah, and then we move back on to a couple more changes which are really nice. One of these is improving your PC upgrade experience. And so previously, when you upgrade to a new build, all the apps that you uninstalled will reinstall themselves. That can be pretty annoying, because as we all know, we don't particularly want Get Office reinstalled every single week if you're on the fast string. Well, that's changing. Starting with build 14926, when your PC updates, it will check for apps that have been uninstalled, meaning that it will preserve that state once the update has been completed. Meaning that if you uninstall any of the default Windows 10 apps like Mail or Maps, they won't get reinstalled going forward. And this is one that has been much requested. Like, I've constantly seen people, even like normal, regular people, after each Windows 10 upgrade, they are incredibly angry to see stuff that they thought they took out getting put back in. And I understand that frustration. So this is nice to see.
Cool. That's good. Some other things that they did for the upgrade here, the new version, is making your PIN login easier. See, this one's simple enough for me to cover. Sometimes, basically, they're saying, like, sometimes when you go to type in your PIN, especially on a keypad, you may not have number lock enabled, so you may just have the arrows or the home and page up, page down thing. And so now, basically, it doesn't matter what state, whether number lock is enabled or not. If you're typing in a PIN, it knows that that's going to be a PIN, and it'll just always be a number. Makes sense.
Yeah. And really not going to make too much of a difference for me, honestly, because when I turn my PC on, I use number lock to get the lock screen to go away, and then type 1, 2, 3, 4 for the PIN, since this is a desktop computer and I'm not worried about anyone busting in there.
What do you mean by, did you hit number lock each time, or what?
Yeah, because each time I start it up, the lock, and there's two different number lock states I've noticed. The lock screen, when you start your computer up, the lock screen area does not accept number lock input, even if the regular desktop area will. And so I use the PIN exclusively just because I don't like having to type out my Microsoft password every single time I start up my computer. It's very long, so I just go over to a PIN and would love to just totally remove any aspect of that entirely, since, like I said, again, this is a desktop computer that only I will ever access, so I'm not worried about it. But regardless, this is going to be nice for a lot of people and takes away some of that confusion of, oh, great, why is it not working?
Fair enough. There are some new extensions added to Microsoft Edge, Tamper Monkey, Microsoft Personal Shopping Assistant, and whatever. I'm not a huge extension person, but obviously they are there. So yay for extensions. A lot of people like them.
Yeah, Tamper Monkey should be very nice because it's a user script manager, and those have endless potential.
All right. Anything else we want to cover on this Insider build?
Well, one that
Except
that got added recently is this. Well, this wasn't in when the post originally got put up, but you can now export your favorites from Microsoft Edge. So you can just click the more icon at the top right, 3 dots, choose settings, then view favorite settings, and see an option to export your favorites, which will export them to an HTML file. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think the last one that is pretty interesting, I think we'll just talk about now. I put it further down in the notes, but the SMS messaging for Skype in the Skype UWP app is kind of a big deal. So, I don't even. Did we not put this in the notes? Where is this? Oh, there it is.
Very
there
start.
It is. Wow, there it is. Okay, I skipped right over it. So this is something that was sort of there for a bit. It has been here in certain manners for a while. Say I'm running, regular consumer build on my PC. I was on a phone call with Microsoft customer service actually today, and during that time I had a phone call from a friend of mine, and I was not able to answer it. Well, it popped up on my PC, obviously, saying, hey, missed call from this person. Well, from right there, simple, I can just type a text reply. That has been enabled for a while. That only works through Cortana, and now we're having it enabled coming into the Skype Universal Windows Platform app for mobile, which is great.
Yeah, I remember hearing that originally people were kind of worried about some of this stuff as it was, Skype.
It's funny. This app, this UWP Skype app, is different. It really feels like it was a different team that built it, or it was, they said it was just from the ground up, a brand new app. Definitely different.
No legacy code.
As far as we know, no, it's brand spanking new, and so that's a good thing. It's different, but we've talked about it before, and I think next week we're probably going to talk about it in greater depth. Like I said, I did scramble to get this on here, and really haven't had a chance to dig around with it much, but it's there, and it is actually enough to make me want to put fast ring on my daily driver again. I'm going to be doing that and fiddling around with it for a while. We'll see what we get. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. So moving on from fast ring and scrambling, we're going to become turtles for a little while and talk about the rollout of the Windows 10 anniversary update.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vernon, you got the anniversary update at day one, right?
No, I had an update, and I just thought that was it. But like people know, I'm at my PC, now twice a week for a couple hours a day. And so I don't use this thing for much, and I did have an update today. I don't even know if this is. I haven't even looked to see if this was the anniversary update.
Well, press the start button. You'll know in a heartbeat. If the start menu has a hamburger menu, then congratulations, you're on the anniversary update.
I've always had a hamburger menu at my start screen.
Oh wait, you have it set as a tablet start screen.
Yeah, tablet start screen.
Oh, okay, then I'm thinking desktop start menu.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the desktop. What is this? XP? No. I love the tile start screen. I've always liked that. I've used that since 8.0. Very happy with that, so I always go with that. Desktop, no. Not me. So
okay then.
I guess
in that case, I guess hold the Windows key, press R, type WinVer. We're getting live version checking here, folks. If it says version 1607, you are on the Windows 10 anniversary update.
WinVer.
Hold the Windows key, press R, and type WinVer. That's WINVER. Yep. Hit enter.
Okay, 10.586, 8.589. Okay, it's still 15.11. That's still the old one.
Oh wow, yeah. So yeah, you're in the crowd that still hasn't gotten the anniversary update, which is still rolling out.
And that's fine with me. I mean, whatever. I think I have it on my tablet because my inking stuff got better. I noticed that, but I didn't really. Whatever. So yeah, it's still getting rolled out, and it's getting rolled out basically based off of. Well, you can imagine people that wanted it just went and got it, and that's fine.
Yeah, like me. And so for the normal people like Vernon who have lives,
thanks
and don't
for that compliment of
everything,
normalcy.
For the people who aren't on the bleeding edge of stable, it's not really bleeding edge, but I guess it is now in some way. That rollout's taken a while. And the reason for this is quality control. However, the issues with the anniversary update are getting fixed up, so more and more people are seeing it. And Microsoft's goal is to finish up the rollout of the anniversary update by early November. And this comes from a company email where maybe not a company email, but rather an email saying that the anniversary update will download and install via Windows Update. The download is automatically available to you. Will begin rolling out on August 2nd and may take up to 3 months to reach all users. Internet access fees may apply.
See, I don't understand that. Why are they waiting? I mean, there's specific reasons to push it out, rolled out, like once those machines are ready for it and all that. But
not just the machines, but rather the fact that the anniversary update itself needs to be ready for some people, because we hear about it at launch, and while I had no issues, there's plenty of people who had webcams that would cause freezing. There's people who had Kindles that would cause blue screens, and the list goes on and on and on. Mm. It launched in a messy state for a lot of people, and I am amazed I experienced none of these issues, but I had none of these devices that were causing the issues either. And so it's a slower rollout to make it so that people have a better experience in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Shipping is a feature, and that's good. But you thought that maybe this would have been ready?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I do believe that Microsoft needs to have more of a focus on quality assurance, etc., etc. But this is a step in the right direction in one way, but in the other, that means that the people who get it first are guinea pigs. And they are very likely going to have a bad experience that probably shouldn't have been released when it was.
Mm-hmm. But they wanted to roll it out, anniversary update. They wanted to make sure
it wasn't even on the anniversary, really.
No, but I mean, it rolled out on a Tuesday, and that was wise. I mean, we wouldn't have wanted it to roll out on a Saturday or a Friday or something, right?
Tuesday went from, I check the mail and I get advertisements from all these to, hey, anniversary update.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's fine.
For some of us, it was a very exciting Tuesday.
Yeah. All right, so we've been talking about this Universal Windows app platform, or Universal Windows apps. And,
UWP.
What did I say? Universal Windows Platform apps. Wow. And that people want to bring their old, let's just call them legacy, these programs that have been around forever, we want to bring them to an app. We want that. And Microsoft wants that. We want that. There's plenty of reasons for that. And now there's another way that Microsoft is helping people do that. Explain this to us, Andy.
All right. So this is another thing that actually requires the anniversary update, which is kind of making the slow rollout a little painful for some. But Microsoft has been working on a desktop app converter for the Universal Windows platform. And this is another one of Microsoft's bridges. This goes alongside, say, the now dead Android bridge and the iOS bridge, which I don't even know if that's alive anymore. But this was part of the same initiative. It's one that lets you bring your Win32 app to the Universal Windows platform. And it isn't exactly a full converter. You're not going to get a regular UWP app just by sticking in your previous application, of course. But you are going to get an app that is able to use the UWP APIs and whatnot. You're able to have live tiles. You are able to have an instant install and uninstall process just like that. It'll get rid of messy installers, and the big part, you'll be able to put your desktop application in the store.
So Microsoft has announced that some of these programs are now coming as apps. Okay, so Evernote, Arduino, IDE, Double Twist, Photoscape, Magix Movie Edit Pro, Virtual Robotics Kit, Relab, SQL Pro, Voya Media, Predicted Desire, as well as some other Win32 apps will be available in the store soon. And Evernote is actually already there. I recognize
something that isn't mentioned here, but Join.me, a site for screen sharing, their application reached the Windows Store a couple of days ago as well. So that's neat.
Nice. So this is a good thing.
Oh, very. This is kind of where I want to see the Windows Store go in the future, more toward Centennial stuff, because universal apps are good for when you want to have something that works on all platforms, but sometimes to get the full power of an application, you just need to target PC. And in this case, you can target PC fully and have all the features of Win32 alongside all the features of UWP.
Mm-hmm. A funny thing about this, though, is that Microsoft is bringing the app converter that lives on the desktop. They're converting that over to an app so that you can use an app to convert your desktop program to an app. And my mind is a little bit twisted up with that, but that's horn that plays in the movie Inception. That's become a bit of a gag for some. Yeah,
that's going off in my head right now.
This is Appception or something. UWP-ception. Yeah, I can't come up with a better one than that. Sorry.
Converter to convert apps, or okay. Listen, this is something that is just too much for my feeble mind.
We'll have more bad puns coming up. So.
Oh yeah.
Andy, tell us about this Beam app, which I did not. Well,
we covered Beam a couple of weeks ago, where when Microsoft acquired them, and to sum up what Beam is, it is a live streaming platform that has the potential for viewers to interact with the game or application that the streamer is, streaming. It's a cool idea, and now that Microsoft's acquired them, the first question on many people's mind was, when is a Windows app coming? Because they already had iOS and Android ones available, but no Windows, no Xbox. And soon. It's coming in this winter, which means we've got a couple more months to wait. Got to wait for a snowy wonderland so we can get beamed over to a new app. But this is coming to both Windows 10 and the Xbox One, meaning that it is, of course, going to be a universal app, likely targeting PC, mobile, of course, Xbox, and whatever platforms get added to it by then, although I'm not sure there's going to be much of a use for it on the Surface Hub, as that is, enterprise-focused. And there's a lot of possibilities for this.
All right, so Andy,
okay.
Last episode, maybe the one before, we talked about Skype Teams, and I talked about like this vision, these things that weren't announced or even teased, but things that I thought could be down the road that I would like to see in that. What is your vision for Beam? I'm not saying like in 6 months, but like 2-3 years from now, what is this futuristic, like, what do you want to be able to do with a game streaming service like Beam?
Full Xbox integration. That's what I'm thinking.
So
being able to simply stream,
being
able to simply stream from your Xbox One to Beam with full interactivity support, with no need for any applications downloaded or whatever. That is, have it built into the Xbox itself.
Okay, so why is that better necessarily than an app? I mean, we can say that, it's got deeper hooks, and I understand that. But
exactly that. Deeper hooks allowing much more potential. Also combined with the fact that if you want it to become a selling point for the Xbox, which I would fully expect Microsoft to want, most people aren't going to expect something that you have to search for in the store as an app as a main selling point, So that's why I'm kind of expecting them to start building it into the Xbox services. As well, they are a part of Team Xbox now, as they say. So I'm expecting to see deeper and deeper ties between them over the next coming months and years.
All right, so continue describing this, though. Like, what do you mean by... when you're streaming your game, okay, great, but there must be another layer to that, the next level. I mean, you can interact via chat or whatever, but what is the next thing?
Well, Beam's thing is that you're able to not only with some games there is the setup that you're able to influence the game either by putting in input commands or issuing challenges. For example, there's Minecraft modifications that allow Beam viewers to issue challenges or create challenges for the streamer to go through. And I'm expecting, the ability for that to happen to come to the Xbox One.
Nice. And then does it automatically, maybe it's already very easily built in, but just like a quick, that capture that what you, in addition to just streaming it, but I mean, does it capture it all in video, at the back end, or is it something,
if it's
do you have a file on the Xbox?
That I'm not sure about. Because generally when you're recording or streaming from a PC, you're going to have to set your streaming thing, like say OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, or whatever, it's Open Broadcast or whatever. You're going to want to say, I want this to be saved to a file as well as streamed, and I don't know if that would happen to the Xbox. The Xbox is not a system that has a file browser, so I kind of doubt it, though maybe it would go up on Xbox Live.
But I mean, like, the file browser really is just looking into the back end of where things are. I mean, why would a file not be able to be created on the Xbox and then just go to, my streams or something and find
true.
that?
That's true. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure about this. Some of it is just so far off. It's like not even worth guessing about. If you get what I mean there.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine. I have a phone that's buzzing, and I don't know which one it is. It's bothering me. It must be. Oh, it's one of my wife's backup phones laying here. Okay. Sorry about that, but
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, so up next on the radar, we have a couple of things, and one of them in the notes is something we kind of already covered already in the previous weeks. Do you want to add on to it, though?
I'll add to this just slightly. We did talk about the upcoming rumored Surface all-in-one devices, and how they had mentioned it was like a studio. It is your desktop studio, and that's very. You could take that a lot of different ways, and I don't really know exactly what they mean by that, obviously. But it's still rumored there's going to be Surface devices at this at the October event. That's not the one coming up in a couple weeks, obviously. And I think the latest rumor, now historically, Microsoft has an October event in New York, but it sounds like there is an event in Las Vegas, coming up in October, so I don't really know for sure where all this is going to take place. So it's all rumored and everything, but I'm looking forward to an all-in-one device. But then again, I'm thinking of that lower spec device that sits in your kitchen or dining room, and your kids play on, and your wife watches cooking shows on. And that's not bad. That is a great use case scenario. But this could also be something, you've got Beam on there, and you got your 9-year-old playing a game, just streaming it that way, or whatever. Or, down the road, we could see an Xbox game, or I guess a PC game, that can, I hate picking on cooking here, or wives for that matter, but my wife gets really into her cooking shows. She loves her cooking. She can get competitive with things. Whatever she does, she wins at, or she makes a point to really gets competitive with. So if we're trying to reach out, if Microsoft's trying to reach more people, would this not be a bad move? Like, this seems like a wise thing.
Beam for non-gaming stuff is something that's like, there would have to be like something just totally different, because there's basically two worlds. You have full general tech Microsoft, and you have gaming Microsoft. The split's been getting less and less over the years, but just to highlight just how much it used to be, when Microsoft owned Bungie, if you were a Microsoft employee, you were not allowed to go into Bungie's studio unless you had special permission. And while we're far away from that, we're at a point where there's game studios just integrated into regular Microsoft, there is still this split in the market. There is stuff that is gaming and stuff that is general tech. For whatever reason, I'm making a lot of motions with my hand here to demonstrate it, even if no one can see it. But there's two worlds, and they generally do not cross over. There's been more and more instances lately, but don't expect too much.
But it isn't unreasonable to think that Azure can be a powerful thing on the back end of gaming. I mean, like, that isn't...
Well, yeah, that's something that's been done for a while.
Yeah, but that the technology, if it's there, it can be useful. It shouldn't be limited, to one lifestyle leaning. I don't know if that's...
much less back-end technology, much more the service itself. But anyways, as we're hitting 40-minute mark, I think we should probably move on to some of our next news stories.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I guess this is mine here too. Another little bit of a commentary coming up here, but so Microsoft, there was the Microsoft Band 2. I like this thing. Even my kids, it's so cute. My kids, Dad, can I play with your Microsoft Band? Like, in church, because my son asked me what everything is, everything. And so I said, well, that's the Microsoft Band. And so we're in church and he's playing with it, or even the baby, she'll come up and play with it if she needs something to do. She, whatever.
Easy way to get an extra 500 steps.
Yeah, chasing them around. Well, I think it doesn't count if it comes off of your doesn't check your heartbeat or something. I don't know, whatever. But it is the Band 2 is a great device. I like this thing. It is not perfect. I've had to return mine once. It was splitting open, and I'm not very satisfied with the quality of it. But the design is, aside from it breaking, I mean, like the design, the software and everything is fantastic. People know this. My opinion isn't rare when it comes to this.
So basically a case of it just needs another entry to get where it needs to be.
Yeah, that's my opinion on it. The Band 3, which we don't think exists at this point, or it's not confirmed, or really no strong rumors of it. The Band 3 could be very, very good, and I would be probably be very, very happy with it. But the strong rumors are it's not happening. No Band 3, that they're basically disbanding the band team, and that's...
I'm revoking your pun license.
Hey, I got more coming up here. This is right off of a headline, so I didn't come up with that myself. But this is it's unfortunate if that's what's going to happen. This is a few days ago, and everyone freaked out about it, as of course the internet does. Well, today, Thursday, the Android Microsoft Health app was updated, and the name of it changed to Microsoft Band app. Okay, what?
Actually, not even Band app, just Microsoft Band.
Well, okay, well, maybe it's just... I was told it was Band app. I don't have an Android device within reach here, and I haven't tried it, but...
It's apparently the same on Windows Mobile.
Well, it is called Microsoft Band right now. It used to be called Microsoft Health, but... And so this is interesting. Okay, because are we dropping Band, or are we ramping it up? What is going on? What is going on with Band? I don't know. And so
I can't confirm that the name on Android is just Microsoft Band as well. It doesn't have an app on the end or anything.
See, yeah, I don't know that. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But it's odd. It does not make sense why they're now switching to Microsoft Band, unless they are going to create a new app called Microsoft Health. And I wouldn't rule that out. I think that was kind of some wise insight. I think it was from Robert Sherbet on Twitter who mentioned that. But in honor of this, and of course everyone doing a blog post about this threw in a little pun. But what is going on with the band? Are they breaking up the band? The team is disbanding? Or enough already, just end it, like ripping a Band-Aid off. Maybe they just keep bouncing back and forth like a rubber band. And it seems like transparency within Microsoft about this product has been banned. Sorry.
Not only am I revoking your pun license, you're going to pun jail.
Hey, just dad jokes all the way here. This is all I got. But I had to. I took 15 seconds and those just popped to the front of my mind. I couldn't help it. Sorry.
Well, at least you now have a degree in dad jokeology.
That's right. All right, so this week I was working when they talked about the Skype Teams Universal App question and answer session, and I was not able to attend, but I was really excited for it. I guess you filled this in here. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it. So there's a good post in here that has their full answers to a lot of questions, but for a quick rundown, basically what it is that there's a lot of coming soons here. A transparent tile is coming to the Skype preview app soon.
So they could have told us that about 2 years ago. I mean, like, why?
That would have been nice.
Yeah, the soon thing, okay, that's lame. But how flipping difficult could this be? And when I say difficult, I don't mean just by changing, how the tile works. And that is simple. That's nothing.
If I remember correctly, making your tile transparent is literally as simple as deleting the background layer. That's it.
That could be.
I remember watching Build when they announced transparent tiles. It's just you don't include a background color on your app icon. That's it.
The difficulty with this, I believe, is from the branding of Skype and from the old stodgy Skype folks, and we don't know this, okay, but we just get that feeling that Skype itself is almost like a separate entity, and there are these people that have been doing Skype forever, and they want it to be its own Skype, program, legacy program, and so they, the branding on that, just like Facebook has that ugly blue, so does Skype, so does, well, whatever. All right, sorry to cut into that, but that bothers me that this hasn't happened earlier. Come on, transparent tile.
I think it was something they never thought about at all. Really, I don't think there's any ill intent or anything. It's just like, we just didn't think about it.
They certainly didn't have a finger on the pulse of the people using it then, because good heavens, that was the biggest complaint. Well, I mean, I think it was.
The biggest complaint I hear about Skype apps is generally that it's Skype. Not the case with this preview app, but who knows? Other features listed include rich notifications, which I would assume that means images in notifications, and Skype UWP coming to the Xbox One, which I'm interested to see how they handle it. I hope they don't have the same user interface as every other UWP app on the Xbox One, which fully expect them to, but it's not very good.
So Skype has been on the Xbox One for a while, but it wasn't a UWP, it was something else?
Yeah, it's a classic Xbox app, which those are ones that are actually designed for the console, and hate to say it, but I prefer them, because they're ones that are actually designed for a console user interface, and the new apps that Microsoft and other developers have been releasing on the Xbox One through UWP, it's almost contradictory to what the point of UWP is. The point of it is a universal app that is tailored to that device's experience. That's not the case with the Xbox One. It's one where you're just going through so many different things with the controller and constantly clicking through different boxes, and it's like, this is something that is very obviously not made for this device.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like trying to imagine trying to browse the internet with a TV remote, and congratulations, you have that experience. Or actually, even not just a TV remote, having to hit tab every single time you want to go select something. Your mouse is broken, so you're constantly bashing tab. That's exactly what this is, and I hate it. Okay. So now I guess I have to tell you how I really feel. But video messaging and IM quotings coming soon to the Universal app for Skype. And then finally, when feature parity is met with the Win32 version, it'll just be called Skype and drop the preview tag, which is kind of obvious.
Well, one thing I really love is that Skype seemed to be not a huge ship, but an old ship. A ship that didn't have a very big rudder and that was difficult to turn. And now I feel like they are doing something different with it, and that Skype is trying to get better. Bigger strides are being made, and that this this Q&A session, I think, is huge in itself that they're doing that.
Yeah, it's a community outreach, and that's something that is very, very good.
This was much needed. I really feel bad that I wasn't able to listen, tune in at that time. All right, so one thing for Office that I want to mention, I'm still on the old Outlook.com interface. Okay, there's the old Outlook.com and then there's Outlook Mail. And that's basically how you tell the difference between the old and new interfaces when you go to Outlook.com for your Microsoft Mail. And it isn't just the layout that's not difficult to change, and it isn't really whatever. It's not a huge upgrade. But what they're doing is the back end stuff is becoming more like Outlook itself, and some of the other, I guess, better. I don't know what they are, but the better technology that people use for enterprise, Microsoft uses for enterprise and that type of stuff, they're using for Outlook.com. And that's great. I'm happy for that. That's good. Progress. Boom. But it's taking forever to get this update. So it's interesting. If you go to OneDrive.com and you roll over the hamburger menu, or I should say the 9-square menu, and you click on that, you get a column of, what is it here? Almost 14 different options, like mail, calendar, people, of course, but you also have Bing, MSN, Sway, tasks are even in here. I didn't realize that. And so that's if you access it through Outlook.com. If you go to, OneDrive.com, if you have the old Outlook.com and you pull that up, you just have the older, you just have just 10 different things here. You don't have the whole Microsoft suite, and it looks a little bit older. Not that that's incredibly significant, but my point being, they're still rolling out this Outlook.com or this Outlook Mail on the web updated version, and I don't know.
I think they did say that they're pushing back the end date for this to sometime next year.
They pushed it back again. I actually don't remember the date, but I thought it was like another three.
So you might be waiting. You might be waiting a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't have too much time left, so I think I've got some stuff I want to cover real quick.
Absolutely.
We're at 52 minutes, and I want to get through some of the Xbox stuff. So get through the big
one. Go for it.
Microsoft's new headliner, ReCore, has released, and I'm currently going through it to get a review up next week. It'll be done. The review will be done before the Outlook rollout. I can promise you that. And it's good so far. They said they were making it $40 because they wanted people to buy a new IP, which I think is partially true, but also partially that this game didn't have too high of a budget. It's good, very, very fun, and I don't want to, not to spoil the review or anything, but it's something that I feel like it didn't get either the time or the budget needed for some things. Well, I do like it a lot though, and $40 would recommend for that price. Recommend even more if you find it with a $10 discount. But yeah.
Let me just ask you this here. Let me mention this, that everyone was talking about ReCore. Oh, big deal. I got to go deal with ReCore or blah blah.
Oh yeah, there's a
ReCore released or something like that, and
a lot of critics not a fan of it. But
oh really? I've only seen
Oh yeah. If you go in the Windows sphere, you'll see a lot of good reviews. But you look outside that, and you'll see plenty of negative stuff. Although I do see a lot of reviewers just giving it a 6 out of 10, which they count as fair or okay, which that is totally reasonable.
Well, my point being that I didn't know this was a game. I just thought this was another conference that they had. ReCore sounded like another, like Tech Ed or TED Talks or like whatever.
I never thought about that.
So I didn't know it was a game.
Although granted, I'm someone who has been watching E3 stuff, which is where they announced this a couple years back.
Yeah, right over my head. But
anyways, to quickly get through some other stuff, Forza Horizon 3's demo is now available for the Xbox One, and HDR functionality will be enabled in it after the full game launches. Also, no PC demo until after launch, so You gotta wait till later this month to see some of the good stuff. And yeah, that's Forza Horizon 3, the new game in the Forza Horizon series, shockingly. I mean, judging by the name, I could have never told that. Big bunches of racing, big bunches of fun in the Australian outback. It'll be nifty. New Xbox One accessories have been announced, and they're coming this fall. This includes a blue controller, a controller called Dawn Shadow, which is a black to purple-pink gradient, and a new headset, which matches the design of the Xbox One S. These should be coming out over the course of this. Some of them are coming at the end of this month, I believe, but most of the stuff you'll see rolling out in stores over the next month. And finally, yes, we are near the end. I can actually talk about this one for a few minutes. Microsoft has blocked the Xbox Deal Tracker Store Parser, which what Store Parser did was that it scraped the Xbox Web Store for information and displayed games that were on sale. It's as simple as that. This kind of displays it displayed information that was basically a gaping hole in Microsoft's own store offerings. It still is a gaping hole in their store offerings because if you go to the Xbox store, you can find deals with gold, which are deals for if you're an Xbox Live Gold member, and nothing else. There is no everything on sale section, which is a really big omission, and I don't get why it's still not there. But Store Parser has been blocked, and Microsoft's Larry Herb, I think I'm saying his name right. Also known as Major Nelson, which I can say that name easier for sure, chimed in on this, saying that, well, he didn't have exact details. The store guys are not a fan of people scraping the site, which that's understandable and is likely the reason behind the block. There's also a chance that replacements for the functionality of this might get built into the Xbox store, because Major Nelson did mention stuff that he couldn't talk about related to features like this, which I have no idea if that's something being built into his website, the Xbox website, or something different entirely. But yeah, might be some changes on that front. And I think that's about it, unless Vernon has any comments on this.
I got nothing else on Xbox. It's just eventually I'll get one. Everybody knows that by now, so I'm in no rush still. Well, it's been another good episode, I believe. I am excited for the next couple weeks here.
Oh, I'm excited to see the Ignite coverage.
Yeah, I really don't want to build it up because I'm going to... I just hope I do it adequately, or a decent enough bare bones job at least to get invited back. I don't know. I'll do the best do the best I can, which I'm not setting the bar very high. But let us know what you'd like to hear about Ignite, or how you'd like to hear it or see it or whatever, and we'll do the best we can with that. Thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate it. You can follow the site on Twitter, MSPoweruser. By doing so, you're going to find out when each new episode is available for your consumption. And of course, you can know when the latest episode is available by subscribing to the show. That way it downloads right into the podcast app. You can review us. If you listen to this on iTunes, or through iTunes, you can go there and leave a review, or anywhere else that they leave reviews for that matter. And sure, do it please. If you feel compelled to interact with us individually, Twitter is a great place for that. I'm on Twitter at Vernon EL, and Andy's on Twitter at FusionFan45. Andy, got anything else we missed?
Not that I can think of, so have a great week, everybody.
All right, take care. Bye.